Snake Plissken here, masquerading as Dr. Bartlett. The eye patch is me giving homage to Johnny Depp and returning to the Pirates of the Caribbean. No, actually, I had to have eye surgery. I was I was sitting in the restaurant with my son about what 12, 15 days ago, and all of a sudden, I was looking out at the sky and there were birds in the sky. And all of a sudden, there were more birds in the sky than birds in the sky. And what it was is my retina had detached. Being a medical doctor, I know these things. But I'm out there and all of a sudden, there's all these little black dots flying around the sky. And I went, and I freaked out for, honest to goodness, I freaked out for a moment because I understood this was a bad thing. And 2, 3 hours later, there was just an orb blocking my central vision where I couldn't see anything out of this eye. And it was a blue-black orb. And I knew the retina had completely detached, which is not a good thing. But then I was just like, well, I've had other issues, and I was like, well, maybe this is just the thing, this is what's happening. And you can get to that point with anything where you just go to the central point of awareness where you're like, okay, this is interesting. Uh, and that's a good place to come from with anything, where you're just observing, you're amused, maybe a little bit, maybe a little scared, that's okay too. But don't try and control scared because then you get massively scared. No, you go to, I'm scared, and then observe being scared. And so then I had to wait. I knew I wanted to get this looked at. I already knew pretty much what the diagnosis was. That's a good thing about being a doctor. It has its bad moments too when you know what the diagnosis is. But anyway, I went and we got the eye exam, and the guy freaked out because what I told him was probably the case, and he'd never seen one before. It looked like it was this was at Costco. I went to the Costco. And he said, well, you need to go immediately, and get this eye taken care of, whatever. And you should have gone to the emergency room 12 days ago. I was like, no, that wasn't what was showing up in the narrative. So then um, he didn't want me to even move my head, like don't move your head on the way over there because, your eye could detach and maybe fall out of your skull. And then you have to get a glass eye and you'd be Columbo. And then you have to get the raincoat and smoke a cigar and that whole thing. That wasn't happening. So we got there. They couldn't get me in, obvious surgery needed. They couldn't get me into the experts for another week. So here I was with no central vision and kind of a blue orb. It's kind of cool though, because when I looked down at my toilet, because of the way that thing was, there was these wavy lines, and it felt like I was back in the '60s having an experience on stage in an altered state. And there's nothing wrong with that. Maybe not what you want under the circumstances. So then I actually got to the place where I was going to have surgery, and I've had panic attacks, so I could have freaked out. And in fact, I was freaking out about the idea that I could freak out. This is not a good thing, freaking out about freaking out. It just amplifies freaking out. So I got there and they were so professional and so nice. In fact, once they found out I was a naturopathic doctor, they made a point to all call me doctor. Not that I cared. Uh, just don't call me dead. And so then I had this experience where, again, my blood pressure went very high because I was worried. But then that came down as I got more relaxed with them. Realized if there's nothing you can do about something, just relax. Life will take care of itself. And so I just relaxed, laid on the table. I got knocked out, which is cool because I was there, then not there, then I was there again. And while I was not there, they stuck a big needle in my eye to anesthetize my eye. And then it was about a 2-hour surgery. Well, can you imagine a 2-hour surgery actually being fun while you're talking to the team and making them laugh? That's what happened. So you can choose, but you can only choose in the moment. So choose wisely in the moment and forget about the rest. I'll see you next week.